Jordan McKay, author of Passion for Pinot. There is a lovely photo in the book of four people on horseback through Stoller Vineyards in Willamette Valley, Oregon. That would be a really cool way to spend an hour or two because I grew up on horseback. Jake Price grew up on a cattle ranch in Northern California, but he lives now in the Willamette Valley of Oregon and has founded Equestrian Wine Tours. His background is as a world champion in parking, English riding, and Western riding. He has a high honor to represent the United States in 1995 at Equitana, an equestrian sports world fair held in Germany. And Jake, as I understand it, you specialize in what you have at your stables are Tennessee walking horses.
Yes, that's what I have. So I have about 40 head of Tennessee walking horses, and I've trained, so I've had my farm for 38 years here, and I'm just right at the base of where all the nice Pinots are. So I decided that maybe I should put these Tennessee walking horses to work, and so what better way than on a Cadillac of the horses and the prime Pinots that we have here.
Now, why, explain to people why, I've never ridden a Tennessee walking horse before, but they are known for their gait, which is comfortable to be on.
Right, instead of trotting, they do what's called a running walk, and they're 3 feet on the ground for a split second. And you can carry a full glass of Pinot and not spill a drop. So it was kind of fun because so many people, worry about sitting in the hot tub that night after they ride, but they can go boogie because it's very comfortable.
Are you serious? You actually, people can have a glass of Pinot Noir with them while they're on the horse?
Well, yeah, actually what I do is I have like 7 different vineyards I can go to right now.
Okay.
And the 2-hour ride is by far the best. But we have hitching posts, and then they get off and they do the wine tasting, and we get back on. And I've not had a problem with anyone in the 3 years that I've been doing this. The horses are well trained. The people, are well briefed before we start. I start them in a little corral before we start, just so they know left, right. And so far, and I've usually never take the same trail all the time to keep the horses happy too.
Oh, because they do get bored fast.
Yes, and I have places where I go through the filbert orchards, which now we have, I think it's probably almost 100% of the filberts or hazelnuts are growing here in Oregon. So this gives the people a chance to taste a little wine, go through the filbert orchards, go right up through the vineyards, and go to the next place.
And all 100% of the filberts grown in the United States are grown in Oregon.
Yes, and 50% are shipped overseas.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I wish I had access to that because filberts they're so delicious, but they're really quite expensive.
They are, and most of the vineyards have, or the wine tasting places have the nuts off to the side or different types of treats to enhance the Pinots from one Pinot to the other.
Now, Jake, I have to ask you, you started your equestrian wine tours 3 years ago, and what were you doing with 40 Tennessee walking horses before this? I mean, why did you have 40 horses?
Well, actually, I've trained. I've trained for years, and so you kind of accumulate these horses. My wife wakes me up in the middle of the night and asks me how many we have, and I always give her a different figure. But but some of these horses are just for people, like for going, because I still train. Okay. And we go to the horse shows. But I'm speculating on young horses now that will fit the bill for the wine tours. And I also have 2 for carriage horses. Yeah. I've got 5 carriages, and I have 2 gypsy banners, a drum horse and and then a Cobb Vantage that I brought in from England, and it's a brand new breed in the United States. And so if people prefer to go in the white carriage or the bird with the fringe on the top, we can do that too. My son handles that part of it.
Okay, now tell us what you charge for the guided wine tasting on horseback.
Okay, the 2-hour ride, I'm going to drop the hour ride because you no more get on and you have to get off.
Right.
But the 2-hour ride is very popular, and that it's $100 an hour. $50 an hour. Excuse me, $50 an hour per person. So it usually ends up to be like $100 per person.
Okay.
And then my grandson is studying to be a chef, and he's on his way to Italy, but he lives at my farm here too, my family, and he bakes the bread first thing in the morning, and he dips the strawberries in dark and light chocolate.
Ooh.
And it's European lunch on the road if you want that.
Okay.
Yeah, underneath or by the vineyards or in the Filbert orchard, wherever you want to do this.
Now how many? You said that there were how many wineries or vineyards that you could be riding through at this time?
I could be riding through 7. I usually, right now I'm doing 3 because I'm still feeling my way through, but people are putting gates and asking me to come to their vineyards. So it's been really nice for me, because most of these people I've known for a long time, so they trust me.
So Jake, tell us, what are the vineyards that you ride through?
Okay, I start out at Wine Country Farms, and that's Joan Davenport. She has a winery and a bed and breakfast, and she's the one that has been trying to get me to do this for several years, and I thought, I don't know, but I'm so glad she talked me into it. So I start from there, and then I go to Winter Hill, which is just really like the rough Wild West, and it's a family-operated business. The son married the girl from France, who's the winemaker.
Wow.
And then we go through those vineyards, and then we come back through, and I stop at Vista Hills, and that is totally opposite looking. It's a very serene, very quiet, very beautiful location in the trees that overlooks the vineyards. And these people at Vista Hills also have the Kona coffee in Hawaii.
Oh.
And then I go up to another spot, and these are all kind of close together, but extremely different. And White Rose is one of the most spectacular views you'll find. It overlooks the Willamette Valley. And then from there, I go back, and they can do some wine tasting at Wine Country Farms, where there's Arab horse, Arabian horses she keeps there, but I use my Tennessee walking horses.
So how did the picture come about for Passion for Pinot?
It came about, we had several different locations, and there's the paper that comes out here once a month. It's called the Wine Press.
Okay.
And it has a different feature every month on the front. Well, Andrea, the photographer, we took several spots and selected from different areas where I really liked the one with Mount Hood in the background.
Ooh.
And most places you can see Mount Hood in the background and Mount Jefferson, and then on the other side you can see the coastal range where I go. So it's beautiful, that picture, and Stollers have such a pristine vineyard that every place I look, I just have to pinch myself.
Without a doubt. I mean, people, it gives a whole new perspective to learning the terrain of a vineyard to be on horseback. Because still, when you're on a horse, you feel if you're going uphill or downhill, or if the terrain is easy, or if it's real smooth. Right.
And the different places that I go, there's some up, some down, but it depends on if it's been raining or not. Just kind of how I go, but I very seldom go on the road. I usually stick in the vineyards, and something for people, and they have to, and the horses don't go one right behind the other. People learn to ride who've never been on a horse, because I give them a lesson as we go, so they don't they're not like a little robot.
Yes.
So people spread out and ride, and I take pictures, and
So now, how long what kind of lead time do people need to give you to make a reservation for a ride?
Actually, the sooner the better. I can't believe my business is going really good, and so I have reservations for 3 or 4 months from now for different things.
Oh, wow. And that includes weddings, engagement parties, anniversaries, and basically anything.
Yeah, anything. It's, people that, they want to surprise their mother or something. We do a carriage ride, or actually the people actually ride for us, too. And when it's a special event, like somebody wants to, do a proposal or something, I have little quiet, really quiet places out of the way from everybody else. I drop them off and leave them back.
Oh, how romantic. Oh, Jake, that is the epitome of romance in my book.
I should give you my email, but
Well, tell you what, yeah, I will put it on my website so that people will know how to get up with you.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this.
Jake Price, it's been our pleasure. Equestrian Wine Tours, and we will have you all set up, so how you get up with Jake. Now, isn't that cool? Passion for Pinot, ride through the Pinot vineyards on horseback. You learn a lot on Ride and Dine.